You do not need to become a millionaire. You need 5 years. That is the entire strategy. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how 0.5 Bitcoin can buy you those 5 years before your pension ever pays out a single dollar. Most people watching this have already done the hard part. You bought Bitcoin. You held through the noise. And now you are sitting with an asset and no clear plan for what comes next. That changes today. Here's the question almost nobody in this space is asking. What if Bitcoin is not your retirement plan, but your bridge to it? That reframe is worth more than any price prediction you will ever hear. Stay with me. Right now, there's a number living in your head. Maybe it is $1 million. Maybe it is 2 million. You are watching Bitcoin tick up and down, doing the math, waiting for that number to arrive. And here is the painful truth. That goalpost keeps moving. Every time Bitcoin rises, your lifestyle expectations rise with it. Every time it dips, the anxiety comes back. That is not a Bitcoin problem. That is a goalpost problem. Smart holders solve this not by chasing a bigger number, but by defining a smaller, more precise target. Not, I need Bitcoin to make me rich. Instead, I need Bitcoin to buy me exactly 5 years of runway before my guaranteed income begins. Pension, Social Security, annuity. Whatever your backstop is, it starts at a fixed date. The question is, what happens in the 5 years before that date? Most people either grind through jobs they have outgrown or they draw down savings in ways that permanently damage their financial position. There is a third option, and almost no one is using it. Here is the core of what we are building today. A bridge, not a destination. Imagine you are 57 years old. Your pension kicks in at 62. You have 0.5 Bitcoin. You do not need to sell it. You do not need to speculate. You need to fund 5 years of modest, dignified living while your long-term asset appreciates in the background. Let us run the actual numbers calmly and clearly. At a Bitcoin price of $70,000 as of early 2026, 0.5 Bitcoin is worth approximately $35,000. That sounds like a single year of expenses for most people in this audience, not 5 years. So where does the blueprint actually come from? This is the part most financial content skips entirely, and it is the most important insight in this video. You do not liquidate, you leverage carefully and conservatively. Several regulated platforms now allow you to borrow against your Bitcoin at loan to value ratios of 20 to 30%. That means against $35,000 of Bitcoin, you access $7,000 to $10,500 in cash, with your Bitcoin remaining intact and continuing to appreciate. At 30% LTV, that is roughly $10,500 in year one. You keep your Bitcoin. You keep your upside. And if Bitcoin doubles, which historically over many 5-year windows it has, though keep in mind, past performance is not indicative of future results and markets can change rapidly, your collateral strengthens, your LTV improves, and the strategy becomes more powerful over time, not less. This is not a gamble. This is structured financial patience with a hard asset as the anchor. Now, before you feel too comfortable, we need to talk about what can go wrong. Because smart holders do not skip this part. Only gamblers do. The primary risk in this strategy is a severe, prolonged Bitcoin drawdown during your bridge years. If Bitcoin drops 60 to 70% and stays there, your collateral weakens, your LTV rises dangerously, and you may face a margin call or forced liquidation at exactly the wrong moment. This is real. This has happened, and it means the blueprint only works with 3 non-negotiable guardrails in place. First, keep LTV conservative. Borrow at 20 to 30%, not 50 to 60%. Your buffer must be wide enough to survive a crash. Second, maintain a parallel cash reserve. 12 months of living expenses in cash or equivalents, untouched, exists so that a Bitcoin dip never forces your hand. You draw from reserves during downturns and from Bitcoin credit lines during stability or upswings. Third, this strategy is not for your entire net worth. It works when Bitcoin is a meaningful but not singular piece of your retirement picture. If those three conditions are met, the risk profile becomes something most sophisticated investors would recognize as acceptable, not reckless. Here is the contrarian observation that most financial advisors will not say out loud. For decades, the standard retirement advice has been to de-risk as you approach retirement. Sell growth assets, move into bonds, preserve capital. And for most asset classes, that logic holds. But Bitcoin is not most asset classes. Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, its fixed supply, its growing institutional adoption, and its increasing correlation with inflation protection narratives mean that the 5-year window before a traditional retirement may actually be one of the strongest windows to hold, not exit. You are not holding a speculative token. You are holding a provably scarce asset with a mathematically enforced supply cap during a period of sustained currency debasement. The math is not complicated. It is just uncomfortable for people trained to think conventionally. Independent thinkers in this audience already understand this. The question is whether you have a plan that matches the asset you are holding. Let us make this concrete and personal. Step 1. Define your bridge period precisely. When does your guaranteed income begin? Count backward. That is your runway. Step 2. Calculate your annual bridge requirement. Not your dream lifestyle, your dignified baseline, the number that covers housing, health, food, and genuine peace of mind. Step 3. Assess your current Bitcoin position against conservative borrowing capacity. At 25% LTV, what does your bridge look like? Run the numbers at current prices and at prices 50% lower. Both scenarios must be workable. Step 4. Set your cash reserve floor and commit to it. This reserve is sacred. It does not get invested. It does not get deployed. It exists only to protect your Bitcoin from being liquidated at the worst moment. Step 5. Revisit annually. Bitcoin changes. Your life changes. The blueprint should be a living document, not a set and forget decision. This is not passive. It is strategic. And it is far less stressful than watching price charts while hoping a number saves you. Here is what separates the holders who thrive from the ones who capitulate. The ones who thrive have stopped thinking of Bitcoin as a lottery ticket. They have started thinking of it as a structured asset with a specific job to do in their financial life. That shift in identity changes every decision. It changes when you sell and when you do not. It changes how you respond to volatility. It changes the conversations you have with advisors who do not understand the asset. You are not gambling on price. You are engineering a bridge to the life you have already earned. That is a different mindset, and it is a more powerful one. You came into this video thinking you might need Bitcoin to make you a millionaire. You are leaving with something more useful than that, a blueprint, a framework, a precise and achievable target that does not depend on price predictions, YouTube hype cycles, or hoping the market cooperates. 0.5 Bitcoin, 5 years of runway, conservative leverage, a cash reserve, and a clear definition of what you actually need. That is the bridge. And for the sophisticated investor who already holds the asset and already has the patience, it is not aspirational. It is executable. Now you know why the goalpost approach never works, and exactly how to replace it with a plan that does. If this kind of calm, structured thinking is what you come to this channel for, subscribe. Every week we cut through the noise and give you frameworks built for holders who are serious about the long game. No hype, no shortcuts, just strategy.